Hi everyone, and welcome back to Ravenport, playing on FS19. Join me for the last episode. Last time we felled 2 rows of trees and took, I think it was 3 loads in the end, to the sawmill. Earned ourselves a nice 118,000, which was really nice. And we had some leftover logs, which we'll take sawmill next time. As I mentioned last time, our purpose for today is to bale soybean straw, which we also harvested last time. Get that baled up, get it collected by the bale trailer, and then take it to the barn. Just hopping in the class Axion for this one. So, our baler is the Vicon, well, it's branded Caverland, but that was my choice of branding it Caverland. Fast baler and wrapper. It's a all-in-one baler and wrapper, and it's a great piece of kit because unlike the other round balers, you don't have to stop, you just keep going. So no stopping to unload, which is just great. It does slow the tractor down a little bit when it's unloading, but I'm okay with that. The first bale is hay, just because we had a little bit of hay left over in the baler. From now on, it should be soybean straw. That's the great thing about it. Keeps on picking up the straw or whatever you're collecting whilst it's making bales. Starting with the headland first, and we'll move into the rows. One pitfall of this baler, the collection width seems to be smaller than some of the other round balers, but happy to compromise on that because I don't have to stop and unload every time a round bale is made. I count about 18 bales so far. Right, last 2 strips, and we're all baled out. The baler itself is actually quite horsepower hungry, especially when it's collecting, processing one bale, maybe unloading another, and then when it's wrapping, sometimes the tractor can slow down quite a bit. I'm guessing because baler drains rather, the horsepower. So sometimes the tractor will slow to 3-4 miles an hour. There we are. Last one done. With 82% remaining, which we'll save up for next time. So let's get this baler put back. First of all, I'm just going to check how it's looking. Service. Like to keep all the machinery as well serviced as possible, just because I know that when it gets down to a certain level, the collection speed slows down, and that doesn't make for as an efficient farm. So always good to keep them serviced and washed as well. It's just a rinse through in the baler. Good stuff. Let's get the baler parked up, and then I'll be over to the bale trailer where we're going to auto load the bales. Right, let's crack on with picking up the bales. I always like to start at the top of the field, top in terms of height of the hill. Reason being, logging a big old trailer full to the brim with bales is a bit hungry on the horsepower. I'm just going to unload that one because I want to stack them slightly differently. And change the position and type of bale. Square bales, round bales, no, stack is what we want. So you can change the orientation of the bale in how they get stacked, either upright or on its side as it is now. Carries the same amount of bales, it's just I prefer the look of how they are on the side. That's how I'd stack them if I was doing them manually. One hay bale in the back there as well. Fortunately, we've got quite a lot of hay in storage, thanks to the last grass cut that we did where the trees are. Missed both of those. And when we mowed that grass, we tedded it and dried it out to make hay. Held out and collected it. So that hay stock should keep our animals well fed for quite a while. Right, I count 3 more to get. 18, 19, 20. 21 bales in total. Can't see any more, so stop loading and get these up to barn selling point. Which is quite close actually, it's just a nice little cut through road up here. Wow, quite a big yield from that soybean straw. It sells for quite high, which is great for us. 21,000. It's good money, especially from something that's a byproduct of the field. So let's get back to the farm. We'll park up the bale trailer again, and I think we're going to start prepping the crop field for the next crop. So we'll start hopefully by applying some digestate from the BGA. Very happy with this bale trailer, the Grosseto, part of the Grosseto trailer pack. Very good mod. Haven't used any of the other trailers, but that one for bale trailing is great, and the auto load feature just makes it all the more easier and efficient. So let's have a look how much Gestate lot. Not a lot, but we also have some slurry from the cows. So I'm going to fill it with this. Won't get us very far, but it'll get us some of the way. Just going to set GPS. I've not got a large amount of slurry. I'm going to try and be as efficient as possible with how I spread it. So, let's go. So as you can see, I'm in the first level of fertilizer on the field. I think that digestate's only going to get us doing one strip worth. It didn't last very long at all. I think this trailer, this slurry spreader, holds about 18,000 litres, and I think it's normally 1.5 to do the whole field, so slurry 600. So I feel like this is only going to do one more strip, and then it's going to have to be solid fertilizer, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. $70 litres slurry left, and it goes in a second. So shows you just how much digestate or slurry you really need to cover the whole field. I know there's a application rate mod as well, where you can set how fast or how slow the application rate of the slurry should be. Maybe that's something to look into. I know with precision farming mod, there's ways to automatically set the distribution of fertilizers, get the right pH and other variables right in the field. So let's switch to some hard fertilizer then. And as mentioned in my tour video, I've got these pallet dispensers here in the garage, which make a real good and easy filling of seeder, which also takes fertilizer, and then my fertilizer spreader. go to about 40%. Don't think it's going to use all of that, but it's good to fill it so we don't have to make another trip to pick up. Right, let's same again. Our GPS friend. Set quite nicely. I hadn't intended to use sort of part manure and digestate and fertilizer. It would be nice to use just one source of fertilizer for the initial prepping of the field, but needs must with regards to stocks and supplies. So spread rate and width is spreader. It's pretty good, so gets the job done much quicker. Slightly mount the hill there, just to the edge of the field. When we get to here, I'm just going to realign it with slurry and digestate, just because I know there's a little strip missed tail end there. Which will now include, which is good. Right. So we only used 3% fertilizer in that, which is great. Means we've got lots of fertilizer left for next time. Sorry, trailer. Now we've got to decide what crop we should plant. I'll have a quick look at the prices. But my main go-tos are soybean and canola, because they fetch a good price on the market. You don't get as much yield, but I have still found, even when doing the typical wheat or barley, you get more. But the price you get for wheat and barley just doesn't make up for canola and soybean. Before we decide, I'm just going to take a look at our stocks for chickens, because they take wheat and barley amount there, and also the horses take oats, so good to grow your own to save any outlay of costs for that. So oats, we haven't got any in the silo. Barley, we haven't got any either, but based on the levels being quite high for them, I don't think we need to grow it just yet. Also, soybean, we can fetch around £1,500 per 1,000 litres, and canola around So I think I'm just going to go for soybeans again. I do want to do sunflowers at some point to get the machinery for that. So I'm going to get the seeder, which has got fertilizer in it as well. It has got some seed. Just open it up, and maybe we'll have to load it with some seeds. Just a little bit. Should cover this. Don't want the worker running out of seed. I think the fertilizer level should be enough. So that's all good. And when we kick off the worker, I'm just going to check that when it applies the fertilizer and seed, because this is a seeder and a fertilizer, it's going to get it up to fully fertilized. That way we don't have to spray it later. Okay, that's not going to work. It's because we've already used solid fertilizer. So don't want to waste the fertilizer, so we'll just unload it over here, fill it back up with seed, and then we'll use the sprayer to get it to fully fertilized. Oh, didn't want to do the fertilizer. Definitely didn't want to do oilseed radish, so let's make sure we get back to soybeans. I think this is soybean. Didn't have it set on. Soybean. So let's get this planted up. There we go. Worker is away. Planting our soybean for next time. And then we'll get that harvested. Oh, sorry, we'll get that sprayed with liquid fertilizer when it needs it. Excellent. So, what to turn our attention to next? We can look at cutting another strip, forestry, which I think is my preferred thing to do, or look around the animals, or pick up some onions, take them to the store. I think what we'll do is we'll crack on with logging. I noticed that. I remember that I have a trailer of soybeans here from last time. Sent. Do is we'll wait for that field be grown, harvested, and we can sell the soybeans at once. So we may be able to wait, get a little bit more for our money. So yeah, let's do one more strip of the tree felling. Okay. Set to 6 meters, which is the ideal length for the price and for our trailer. Just don't roll too far, log. Okay. Some nice, neat piles here. The logger machine likes to do that now and again, because the tree is so heavy it pulls the cutting arm over, and then when it's near the end of the tree and it's quite light, it starts to move vertical again. If I cut it fast enough, it's always good. I'm sure there's some way to avoid cutting like that and it's swinging back up vertical. Now it works for us. If I cut it fast enough, usually just stays where it needs to stay. So keeping a nice little stump on these at the bottom just helps with getting the stumps out the ground when I come along with the chainsaw. Oh, 3 trees left. Just gonna see how our helper friend is getting on seeding. Yeah, he's doing alright. Let's crack on and get this row finished. Oh. And that kind of thing. Bit at the end always tricked me. last tree of the strip. Right, nice. One row done then. Not going to finish it today. Some for another time. So just going to park this up here this time. It's safe to stay up here on its own. And then let's go over to a lorry. It's already got some logs from last time. Start picking some up. So, using the autoloader again. I'm just going to set it to position 2. And it's auto loading from the left. Okay. Always forget. Sometimes I go a little bit too fast. And the momentum of the truck just throws them off. What you're stuck on. Right, let's roll this one back into the auto load zone. Yeah. Those ones are a little bit far away, so I'll come back for them. Oh, it's picking them up actually. Handy. Let's take it nice and slow. Try and get a nice, neat thing. And a mess. This one's looking a bit nice, so I'll just push that back in. Yeah, they all go off to the right hand side just because of the gradient of the hill. Which can be a little annoying. Let's try auto load on the right. Turn that off. Strap it all up. I think we'll call that full. 20.5 tons. $40 logs loaded. Last time, one of our trips to the sawmill, we were decimated by the train caught at the crossing by the barrier, and then the train came through and smashed us to bits. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time. Never can tell with the train. Getting close to 6 o'clock, so we can start thinking about wrapping up for the day. Get the logs transported, sawmill, come back, pick up the rest. I think the remaining should fill the lorry, so it'll be wasted trip, just a half load. In my last stream, I did think about having 2 log trailers, using a dolly hitched there with another log trailer attached to it to make a bit of a road train. I'm just thinking that would probably take the load up to 40 tons. I'm not sure whether this lorry's to it, especially up some of the hills. So just going to have some extra trips to do. Or maybe we could get a slightly longer trailer, because they do longer ones. One that would be long enough for sort of 3 sections of 6 metre long logs. Right. There we go. Unstrapped. 5. That is good. Back to the farm. I'm going to try and get full speed here. Done it a couple of times. Lorry never quite gets up to 52. I'm sure it would in other parts of the map, but never quite on this road. One, two, there we go. Nice. So let's get the rest of these logs picked up. So load, switch to the left, and we'll do pile 1 again. Just go give this one a little nudge. Aha, there you go. So actually detected that the front was full, so started picking up in the second half trailer. Just straighten these up a little. So I've got the lumberjack mod just to give me a little bit of extra strength. And yes, I do auto load logs, auto load wherever possible, just to make life easier. So not a full trailer. So I reckon we'll wait till next time. Do the trip. Sawmill. But we do need to clear stumps and also the little offcuts at the top. Lumberjack mod is good for removing the stumps. So one thing I mentioned last time is that this field is obviously where I planted my original saplings for making some trees and logging. But I am going to keep this field for the sole purpose of grass for cutting, baling, silaging and putting in the BGA. And how many rows have I got left? We've got 1 row left of these trees. And then, all of these are ready. I created a forest right at the top here, quite a dense one, so interesting how we cut this down. I'm making a mess. And then I've got some less mature trees here which are growing. So the idea is to have this top section as our forestry forest. Cut these trees down, this last row of trees here, and then we'll keep this field solely grass, which will silage and hay, the animals. Yeah, that's the plan. Trying to make this farm as multi-purpose as possible. Obviously got chickens, cows, sheep. Got an operation for grass, which gives us the hay and the silage, as mentioned. We've got a BGA, so self-contained that we can sell silage without having to own the major BGA in the map. And yeah, we've also got horses as well. Did I mention horses? I remember. Horses, chickens, sheep, and cows. Horses are very lucrative as well. Buy them for 5,000, take care of them, ride them, and sell them for 50,000. So buy 10 horses for £50,000. And then at the end of the week, sell them for £500,000. So very profitable. So just going to park this tractor back up in our garage. We'll keep the JCB and the trailer there as a reminder to take the soybean to selling point when the next crop of soybeans is ready. And I haven't got enough space in here for the logging equipment and also the lorry whilst the trailer's on there, so we'll just keep it there now. Cool. So I think in the next one we'll hopefully have the first growth stage out of the soybean, so we'll need to weed that with herbicide, and then we'll also need to spread some more hard fertilizer on there to get it to full fertilizer. And then, yeah, also in the next one, perhaps we'll cut that last strip of trees and probably have 2 trips to the sawmill there to get those last logs sold. We've nearly earned back all the money from buying our logging machine, which is really good. Plus, we've got a load of trees right at the top in our forest, and then a whole load of saplings here ready to be planted with the hand planter. And we get through a lot of them. So I think this farm, once we've done all that processing, turn a nice tidy profit, and we'll look to buy some of the fields next along, month 23 and 22. And desire would be to start growing some sunflowers. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed watching this whenever you're watching it, either live or on. Feel free to drop any comments about any tips or advice or anything you'd like me to do. As always, any likes or subscribes are appreciated. Yeah, thanks very much, and see you next time.